Let's turn to Einar Tangen. He's a senior fellow at the Taihe Institute and Chairman at Asieh and Narrative. So, Einar, what is your takeaway from the visit of this delegation from Tanzania to China?
Well, Asieh, I mean, this is another example of a BRI success showcase. I mean, you've seen trade last year on year, go up by over 23%, up 125% over a 10-year period. This is exactly what Africa is looking for. They're not looking for handouts. They're looking for ways in which they can grow their economies. That includes having the right infrastructure and then having trading partners.
Where do you see the biggest areas of cooperation? I mean, you mentioned trade and infrastructure, big ones, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back a long ways. I mean, over 60 years, one of the most memorable projects, especially here in China, was the standard gauge railway that they put in way back when. I knew somebody's mother who actually worked on it. She was a doctor there. You have the Julius Nyerere hydropower station, the East African crude oil pipeline, and then, the list goes on and on. But, apart from trade, they're expanding ports to terminals, etc., to get people in and out. There's another component to this, which is this Dar es Salaam consensus. This is 40 think tanks from across Africa who really have decided that they want to embrace the security, development, and civilization concepts that have been put forward by China as the basis for future relations. Very, very important to China, very important to Africa, because it sets a new tone. It gives a basis, a very solid base of the pyramid in terms of how countries can work together with differences, but still in harmony.
You mentioned BRI, and of course, China is heavily involved in infrastructure projects all on the, everywhere in Africa, really on the African continent. What makes Tanzania's relationship, if you will, Einar, with China different from other countries in the region?
Well, it's been a success story over 60 years. I mean, that's really something. It was one early on embracing the relationship. It saw the benefits of that. And as I said, this is a showcase for how China is working with the developing world, as opposed to all the narratives you hear about China's doing, debt-based diplomacy and things like this. It's nonsense. What you see here are countries that are rapidly advancing, whose growths are now exceeding the developed world. And this is exactly what China wants to do. And stop, they don't want to talk about success, they want to show it.
All right, we'll leave it there. Einar, thank you very much.
Thank you, Asieh.